Paul Gamer here, welcome back to the channel. Now, we are still playing Hitman 3, and we are now moving from Dubai to Dartmoor, England. Now, part 1 is nearly uploaded, and then I'll play Dartmoor, and once we finish Dartmoor mission, I'll end the video and upload part 2, and then get ready to upload episode 2 and how many parts there'll be. Now, I hope there'll be only one part, but you don't know, it might be a 2-parter. So we've completed Dubai, and now we're moving on to Dartmoor. And now, I've heard it in the first one, but this is based off the film Knives Out, which is a very good film. It's a detective film with Daniel Craig as the detective, and it also features some people you know as Captain America. He's also in that. So let's get on with Dartmoor. Death in the family. Back in a minute. See you in a minute, Marlene.
She came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant, information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Okay, that is our job. Let us get on with the planning. So now we can actually have some... Not all the pistols from before, but I'm obviously going to take my... show details. South African produced dart gun will transmit and... Now we can take our usual. Can be used as a makeshift fibre wire. Can we not have that? Oh, we can't have that. Original. Oh, no. Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's play Dartmoor. Target: Alexa Carlyle.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson, and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
Okay, my idea is to try and get him.
This is a private area, sir. Phineas Whitman, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Whitmer, thank God you're here. Can I take you to Madame Carlyle?
Please do.
If you'd follow me. I know I oughtn't say anything, but I'm so relieved you're here. Everything's just so strange. Preparing for Madame's funeral, and then she turns up alive. But then the awful business with her brother Zachary, and all this security. I've never seen the place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all.
Sir, you are currently trespassing. Stop! Did you not hear what I said? You're gonna regret this. Where is it? Location check. Suspect's not here. Getting gear.
Oh, this happened straight away.
Someone's making trouble. Possibly high on drugs. Do we have any ID on the suspect?
High on drugs, isn't that?
Yeah, alright.
That appears to be a half-burned diary belonging to Zachary Carlyle. It says he and Madame Carlyle murdered their older brother 46 years ago, and that Mr. Fernsby helped them cover it up. He was planning to confess it all. Interesting.
Crime. Suspect.
Madam Carlyle.
But he was such a gentleman. You know good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind. You mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid... Never any romance. I deserve romance. Check that out, would you? You mean like Chris?
Why waste away in front of the books when he can play like that? That music makes my heart soar.
Quite the poet. But you're right. It's beautiful.
Listen, Gregory. Something's off. Pruitt got word his motion was rejected. We all signed the bloody thing 4 days ago.
Oh, dear God, not this again.
So I got hold of the officer. He said it was finalized, but then how can it be withdrawn?
Just wait a few days. I'm sure it'll sort itself out.
What was that noise?
Hello? Oh, it's just... No, no! Oh.
If you're dressed like a Detective 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
That's a good plan.
Okay, guys, sorry for being so quiet. I just wanted to get the suit on. Now I can act like a detective. Let's go talk to the butler. Do you have a pad and pen on us or not? We have a camera, so that kind of like works out, doesn't it?
Mr. Whitmer, are you ready to inspect the crime scene now?
I am.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
Is he more like a detective now, or go fucking lanky twat from before? Look, so out of character.
I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
Sorry I'm so quiet, I just want to figure out all these clues, you see. Right, what else could be a clue? Anything on that? What is it? A computer race, I'm gonna check this out.
Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Alright guys, so we've yeah, you know the word. We've pretty much checked out the whole room and we've done a full search and we've now found a hidden door. So we now want to try speak to the butler again. Now we've infiltrated the crime scene and had a look around. We found them things out. Let's speak to the butler once again.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Gregory Carlyle, the oldest child of Alexa Carlyle. George is a suspect for the murder. Edward Carlyle, the middle child. Rebecca Carlyle, the youngest child. Emma Carlyle, the wife of Gregory and daughter-in-law to Madame Carlyle. Patrick Carlyle, son of Emma and George. Emma and Gregory. So Gregory and Emma are married, wife of Gregory, son of Emma and Gregory. Does not have an alibi. Right, let us find Gregory.
Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
Patrick Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexa used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
Okay, okay. Right, we found one fucking member, so let's find the others. So that is the son of Emma and Gregory, Patrick Carlyle. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anyone in there. There'll be quite a few people in here. Oh.
Why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody Rouge, that's what it is. Making us come here to play funeral and then show up like nothing's the least bit strange.
Oh, don't get your knickers all twisted.
I'm telling you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Is that all?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Anything else you want to
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
That's few intel so far. He claims to have been in the pub with Edward, and Edward Middlechild, so his brother.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Anything else you want?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Is that all?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Okay, let's go over here and discuss what we've worked out so far by the window. Okay, so we've currently worked out about all the family members. So quite a few have an alibi, which is okay. They all didn't really like Zachary anyway. May I help? Alright, just invade my fucking space then. Right. They all seem to have an alibi. The butler is the only one without an alibi. So the only person we've got left to investigate is Edward Carlyle and Rebecca Carlyle. Let's go find Mr. Edward.
Why waste away in front of the books when he can play like that? That music makes my heart soar.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Okay, so we figured out he was definitely with his brother in the pub. We've now got to go speak to Rebecca. We found the wife had gone to bed. Obviously, if she'd gone to bed, and obviously Zachary had also gone up to bed at that time. I want to find out where all the bedrooms where they all slept, so I can kind of find out about who was closest to him at the time of his death, really. So where the fuck is Rebecca? We got to find Rebecca Carlyle. This twat's still in here. Rebecca.
How are you?
Need to find fucking Rebecca Carlyle, that's what I fucking need. Where the fuck is she gonna be?
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Nope, thank you, Rebecca Carlyle. So, we've talked to each and every suspect. They seem to mention that butler quite a little bit. So, I want to... Jesus Christ.
Talking to Madame Carlyle's daughter.
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
Tokens for Rebecca and Mr. Fernsby. According to the bodyguards, Rebecca Carlyle and Mr. Fernsby, the butler, each given a token for the Milton Fitzpatrick Bank. When combined, the tokens grant access to a deposit box to whoever holds the set. The deposit box may have well contained copy of the case file on Arthur Edwards. Thank you for that, gentlemen. Right, so we still need to find the case file. So let's have a little look on our map. Nothing there. Right. We want to get upstairs. We want to go back upstairs now. And we want to look at the bed. We want to go into each and every bedroom. Stairs here. Up we go. Right.
You're being so coy, Sam. Can't you tell me about anything exciting that you've seen?
Oh, I'd love to tell you. But then I'd have to kill you. Even if you are the prettiest girl I met in years.
Oh, come on. Pretty please? With sugar on top? I bet you have all kinds of interesting stories.
It would be pretty unprofessional of me to talk about that. And I certainly wouldn't want a refined woman like you to think I'm unprofessional.
I'm not letting you go that easily.
One of these days, you're finally gonna pry something out of me.
So, Sam, have you ever fallen in love with someone you were hired to protect? Like a foreign princess or a beautiful starlet? Oh, it would be so romantic to work that closely with someone you had feelings for.
I'd much rather hear your stories. See, I can't imagine what goes on behind closed doors in a house like this.
It's an interesting conversation.
Oh, is that so?
You almost got me that time.
With a handsome face like that, I bet you've worked with a lot of high-profile...
No,
Sorry,
you
but I
should
think
probably,
Right.
Yeah.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
Okay.
Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens. A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
Beautiful though, isn't it, guys? Beautiful. Right, okay, so we've searched Gregory and Emma's room.
Yeah, same.
Bathroom. Oh. Window seems to be open. Okay.
Or do I like the fact he's not another knuckle-dragging rugby washout?
That's one room so far.
That is the door to Rebecca's room.
Kinder. Oh, this one here. Rebecca.
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Okay, anything down here? No.
Looking good, looking good.
HTC depot number 5085. No, I need it immediately.
Sorry, sir, not coming through here. Move away. Right now, thanks.
Right, we found Rebecca's room. We found Gregory. Right. We know. Right, we wanna. Rosie. We want to find Rosie, member of staff. Right. Let us find Rosie. He claims he's a member of staff. So let us find Rosie.
Can't you just relax for a minute?
And that solicitor upstairs. Why do you think he's here?
I think solicitors are mother's favorite kind of people.
Did Alice tell you what Emma did when she arrived?
What is it?
She scolded Mary for not making the bed the way she prefers it. It's so unfair. She'd just discovered Zachary's dead body and was all shook up.
Mary is so upset. As she's never seen a dead body before.
Ah,
And that detective
hi there, sir.
asked to come here. Madam Carlyle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask her to stick around?
beautiful.
Edward's speech. Edward Carlyle's note on the eulogy he was writing for his mother's pretend funeral. The handwriting doesn't match Zachary's. The handwriting does not match his suicide. Emma Carlyle, wife of Gregory. So where was Gregory? That's Gregory. Gregory's wife and daughter-in-law. Yeah. Emma is suspected. Yeah. She claims to have gone to bed with an awful migraine with Edward and Gregory. When Edward and Gregory had a drink at 8 p.m. Emma says Zachary's company. Yeah, right. So she claims to have gone to bed. So oh shit, I just bumped into that.
That is Alexa Carlyle, unofficial leader of the Providence Partners and last one to be alive.
No, so this is Rebecca Carlyle's room. Emma and Gregory.
You want to check on that undertaker in charge of the funeral? I got word he's upset with Madame Carlyle.
How's that possible?
Actually,
we should get back
yeah,
to...
actually, there you go.
Yeah.
Shoot. missing. So, guys, it is on 51, so I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to get back. Question, suspense. So I'm going to get back to you with part 2 very shortly. Though I'm ending this part, I'm going to upload part 2 of episode 1, and then I'll see you all for part 2 of mission 2. I'll see you all in a little bit, guys. Goodbye for now.